What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't already tell, we're going to be doing a hair tutorial video today on this hairstyle right here. I just recently chopped my hair off after months of debating of whether or not I should do it, and I finally just said let's do it. It has been like 90 degrees here non-stop, so I just needed to get rid of all of that bulk and everything, and I feel so good. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I achieve this look every single day. I'm going to share all the products I use and link them down below, so if you're interested in any of them, they are easy to shop down below. So without any further ado, if you want to see how I achieve this hairstyle right here, then just keep watching because we're going to get started. Okay, so starting off, typically I only curl my hair like the second day after it's been washed, so it's going to be dirty hair. That's going to be your best bet on getting this look. So what I really like to use lately for helping my hair feel a little bit clean but also still have that like dirty texture is this Kristen S Style Reviving Dry Conditioner Spray. This is good because it's moisturizing, but it's also going to help soak up any oil that you have like around your roots. Especially right now with summer, it's so hot, so I feel like I need to use this like all the time. So I just like to spray that towards my roots, and it just feels really nice. Plus it's UV protective, so it's going to help if you're going to spend some time outside. And I just like to place it in all the areas where my hair gets dirty throughout the day. Okay, to section my hair off, I'm actually going to part it right in half, sort of like a half up style. And now we're left with all this hair at the bottom. Alright, so I get asked all the time what I use to curl my hair, no matter the length, and it has always been this 1-inch Lange curling wand. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it has been well loved. I've used it since like 2017 on my hair, and I have absolutely loved it. So this is what I've been using for 3 years. I've tried other things and I always come back to this. This has just been the best of the best. So I'm going to part my hair like this in half. So we're only going to have 2 different layers that we're going to be curling. So this first bottom layer, what you're going to do is take a nice big section about this big, and I'm actually going to curl this piece towards my face. This is going to create a little bit of volume and make things look really nice and full. So especially if you have fine hair, this is a very good trick for you. So I'm going to take it in about halfway down or 3/4 of the way up, somewhere in between there. You're only going to wrap it once around your wand if your hair is this short. So I'm going to take my piece, I'm going to wrap it once around the barrel, and we're going to let it sit for a few seconds. If you feel like, if you have very fine hair, you may not have to hold it as long. If you have thick hair like me, you may find that you do have to hold it just a little bit longer. So now you can see that piece. There's a nice wave, and it's going to create a fullness right here. I always feel that my hair sometimes doesn't look super full in this area, so curling that towards my face just gives a little bit of fullness. Then the next piece you're going to take just as large of a section, and you're actually going to curl away from your face. And again, go towards the middle of the hair shaft and hold as much of the ends out as possible as you can. So now we have them going separate directions. That's going to create a nice dimension and texture going on with our hair. Then again, with the next section, you're going to curl towards your face. So again, every other curl is going to be a different direction. One thing to note as well with hair like this is sometimes I think people focus too much on curling every single piece of hair on this bottom layer. First of all, it's really difficult to do that, and second of all, I almost feel like sometimes it makes it too fluffy and too put together. So you'll probably see as I'm curling that I'm not going to get to every single piece of hair on the lower section, and I'm totally fine with that, and you should be too. I think people focus too much on trying to get every piece to look perfect, and that's sort of where the disconnect and people mess up at. So for the next step, I am going to take a hair straightener. This is the Beyond the Beauty hair straightener. I've been again using this one for about 3 years, I think, and I've really grown to love this one. Then I'm going to take some hairspray. This is the Kristen S. Refine Signature Finishing Hairspray. It's a medium hold, so really great for this hairstyle. And before I do anything, I'm just going to spray it a little bit. Once the curls have cooled down, you can sort of run your fingers through them a tad. And here is when I'm going to go in with my straightener, and I'm just going to take a little bit of heat towards the ends to straighten them out a little bit. Make sure that if I did curl the ends from the curling iron a little too much, I can just go in and straighten them out to make them look a little bit more sleek and chic. So this is what we're working with so far, and so far so good. So now is the time to take down the second layer of hair, and you can part it however you want. I like to do mine slightly off center. So before I start to curl my next layer of hair, I'm going to take some texturizing powder. What that does is it creates a nice grip so that you can add a little bit more volume to your hair. If you want to tease it a little bit, you can. If you don't, that's totally fine. It'll still give you that nice, like, full texturized looking voluminous hair. So I'm taking a little bit of that from Redken, and I'm just going to place it along my roots, just sort of around the top layer, around the back, where I would want a little extra volume and texture. And it's really good to like work that into the scalp a little bit. See how we're getting some texture already back there just by doing that? That's what that powder does. It sort of adds that nice texture. So like this side of my hair is looking pretty voluminous aside from that one. So we're gonna do that all over the top. This also works really great if your hair doesn't tease very well. What this does is it gives it a grip so that when you do go to tease your hair with a comb, which I am gonna do, but later on in the video, if your hair is not good at teasing or doesn't hold a tease, this powder gives it that grip in order to get that volume from the teasing that you want. I know fine hair especially doesn't tease very well, so this is something you may want to look into. So I've grabbed my wand again, and we're going to do the same thing, except for at this top section, I'm going to grab a piece about this big, but this time we're going to curl away from our face. We don't want to curl forward this time because that would just look a little bit odd. It looks a little better when you curl away. So again, taking a section of my hair, and I'm going to take my wand in the center of that shaft, and I'm going to wrap it. But this time I want you to wrap it for a few seconds and drop it, because we do want that piece to be a little bit softer than the rest of the hair. Maybe you're different, but for me, I don't like it to be super harsh around my face. I like to just have like a little bend like that. Next piece, I'm also going to wrap away from my face. Again, I don't want any of the curls to go forward yet. So again, just take one wrap around towards the middle of your hair shaft, and we're going to hold it, but this time you can do it a little bit longer if you like, or if you like that softness, then you can drop it, but I'm gonna hold it just a little bit longer than the piece around my face. So when I get towards the third section of my hair that I'm gonna curl, this is when I'll probably go towards my face just to give a little bit of texture. That's about where I like the texture to happen. All right, so now this side is done being curled. I'm gonna let that sit. I'm not gonna touch it yet. I'm gonna move on to the next side. So for a reminder, I'm going to take a section of my hair about that big, and I'm going to curl it away from my face, taking it about halfway down the shaft, leaving a few inches out towards the end. I'm not gonna hold that piece as long as I hold the rest because I like it to be a little softer around my face. The next section I'm going to take, I'm also going to wrap away from my face. But this time I am going to hold it a little longer than the piece that I did that was right around and frames my face, just because this helps add a little bit more texture and dimension to the look. Once that's done being curled, the third section you're going to take, which is about around your ear, I would have to say, right towards the back of your ear, this is the piece that I'm going to take and curl towards my face, and this is also going to help add a little bit more texture and dimension. And remember that, again, every single piece I take, I'm wrapping it in the middle of the hair shaft, so I'm leaving a few inches towards the top and bottom out. I don't wrap more than one time around with this hair length. I'm gonna drop that piece. We have a nice wavy texture going on. And then the next piece, which I don't think I mentioned on the other side of my hair, the next piece, I'm gonna go away from my face. So this isn't really every other. This is more like every third piece I'll do away from my face. Alright, so while we're waiting for these curls to cool off before doing anything else, I'm going to spray them again with this hairspray. And once those have cooled down, you can take your hand and sort of just run your fingers through them to soften them a little bit. And then again, if you feel like any of the pieces are a little bit too curly towards the ends, you can take your flat iron and just run it through the ends to straighten them out a bit. So on a normal summer day, this is sort of where I would leave it, but the next step, that if you want it to be a little bit more voluminous, since we did add that nice grip powder, you can take a rat tail comb and you can take just small sections and lightly tease them. I like to do it just a little bit towards like the crown of my head, nothing too crazy, but this just adds a little bit more dimension, a little bit more volume. If you wanted to take one towards like the middle of your hair and just sort of tease it a little, it's totally up to you. But on a day-to-day basis, I like the look of this more than I like the look of that. Like, I just like it to be a little more relaxed and sort of effortless looking. But since we teased that side, we might as well go in and do the other just to give it some volume. And if you feel like that messes up your curls at all, you can obviously go through and just add a few pieces of curls wherever need be. But I like to finish it off with just a little bit more hairspray, just so I know that it's good for the day. And that is basically it. So that is how I style my hair every day. Honestly, like, once you get the hang of it, this should only take you about 5 minutes. That's why I love having my hair this length. I'm so glad that I cut it finally. And I just feel so like refreshed and amazing right now. So yeah, that's basically it. My biggest note again is basically don't have to curl every piece underneath here. I feel like that's what actually makes it look more straight towards the ends, is if you do leave out some pieces, because I don't know if your hair's like mine, but mine will kind of like give it a little bit of a wave throughout the day anyway with the heat and everything, so it ends up working out really, really well. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was easy for you. I'm going to link everything that I use down below, so if you're interested in getting any of these products to help you achieve this look right here, then those will be easily shoppable down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell icon, so that every time I upload a video, you are first to find out about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.